Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of Midrank Madness and your StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, for your Friday, it's going to be a pewpyoo and TTT. Here on Automaton, the latter edition, those names are going to be really hard to do, but I will do my best. Top right-hand corner-ish of Automaton is the red Zerg player. It is pewpyoo. And in the bottom left-hand corner-ish is the blue Terran player, TTT. From StarCraft 2F? StarCraft 2F. StarCraft 2 Fools or something along those lines? I don't know. It seems familiar, but not really making any connections here. So yeah, this is our Friday examination of lobby stuff. This is going to be a diamond level game. Sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of mid-rank madness. The best ones are chosen. The best ones are cast. And that is what this one is here for you today. Oh, pool! What the heck? Like an 18 pool here from pewpyoo. Interesting. This kind of feels like a Roachmax build that I pulled off of Spawning Tool. Although you get gas after this, so it's like an 18 pool into a 17 hatchery. All right, interesting. You get some early pressure up, which is hard to do when there's a Reaper. So I don't know what this plan is. Out of pewpyoo, we're going to keep an eye on it. Seems like a Reaper expand, though, based on the gas income here for TTT. It's got that one refinery going on, and we should get a Reaper started just momentarily. Got a name ready to go. And the Reaper's name is not a Reaper, it's a reactor. Ah, TTT, you have fooled us. All right, so for Midrank Madness, it's more about just seeing players play well, right? They play well, they know generically good standard strategies. Their builds are good, their APM is decent. They're just not good enough to be Masters or Grandmasters yet, but they're going to get there. They're going to get there sooner rather than later. Into the Void is more about being educational. Midrank Madness is more about just seeing what players are doing in the mid-ranks. You know, a lot of people live in Platinum, a lot of people live in Diamond. Those are the two races represented in here. For Into the Void, which is the lower stuff, it is Gold, Silver, and Bronze. So you want to keep that in mind. Now, interestingly enough, some Ling pressure might have actually worked here for pewpyoo. There is literally nothing at all to defend against some Ling pressure out of TTT. Lings could have showed up here and knocked down this command center, no question about it. But look at this. He's been so conditioned to expect the Reaper, he's not even bothering to leave. Did he even make any Zerglings at all? No, man. He didn't make any Lings at all. So what's the point of the early pool? I'm very confused by this build here from pewpyoo, but his APM's around 150, 200 or so. TTT's hitting at a cool 250 APM. Let's check that out real quick. Average, well, it was spiking. Average is maybe not as good as that, but definitely spiking up into the higher numbers there for sure when there is stuff to do. All right, so Overlord scouting. Again, pewpyoo has no idea what the Terran player is up to whatsoever. There are Marines checking to see where there are Overlords they can kill. Liking this. I'm really liking this out of the Terran player. I don't know who sent this in. I'm not sure which of these two players sent it in. Assuming it's the player that won, which is generally how that works, but could be the player that lost too. Just no way to know, really. By the way, if you're interested in watching some of my games, I did actually post a game of mine out on Patreon, patreon.com/FalconPaladin last week. It was a game I played against Johnny Lawyer or something like that. I don't remember what it was. It was a while ago now, but it was a pretty interesting game. Good ZVP on year 0 if you want to check that out. Again, for just $1 a month, you can subscribe to me on Patreon. It's really not that big of a deal. If you can't make that happen, I totally understand, but if it's an option for you, then give it a shot. So interestingly enough, it's a Marine Hellion push here. There is almost nothing to defend against this. The Queens are not going to do as well against these Marines as they would against Hellions. Oh, and they're Hellbats already. Armory complete here from TTT. And the third base looks like it might be in some trouble there. Oh, maybe should have canceled, honestly. Yeah, there's nothing. 6 Lings are in production, but I think TTT is going to take down this third base. What a great timing attack. What a beautifully effective timing attack here. Absolutely incredible stuff. We have some Lings trying to get some stuff done in the middle of the map. But no, there are Hellions here, so that's not going to happen, guys. And the third base goes down. Amazing. Amazing, amazing stuff here out of TTT so far. Army supply 20 to 19, but a lot of that are Zerglings. Zerglings, honestly, pretty horrible against Hellbats and Marines in this composition. But TTT seems more interested, and you know what? I took down the third base. Good job by me. It is a 2-base to a 2-base right now, 29 to 29 workers. I am ahead when all is said and done right now. And I'm just going to head back home. You know what? No use in losing these workers, or rather these attacking units. They did what they needed to do. 2 kills and 2 kills on those Hellbats. Each about 3 on a couple of those Marines. Some of those are Broodlings, which aren't really that impressive to kill. But see this? Single Zergling cruises on in here. Just gets a scout off. Lift. Nice lift on the supply depots. The Ling does not get inside for the full scout. Not much to see here, honestly. Except for the fact that there is possibly Banshee stuff. And Hellbat boosting on into the mineral line. Hellbat and Hellions are here. Look at this. The Hellbat going after the drones. Ling attack at the front door trying to do stuff, but no, absolutely roasting, barbecuing those Lings. Too many queens are present, though. This is enough queens to handle this style of an attack. Thank you very much. Try to pick up and get out of there, taking shots from the queens, but the medevac does manage to survive. Pew Pew is replacing his third, as you should do, but my golly. Resources lost here. 1,300 for Pew Pew and only 300 for TTT. That Ling attack did not do anything versus TTT. Ooh, Fusion Core follow-up. Is he going Battlecruiser? TTT. I kind of like this Terran style. He's doing weird stuff, but it's dead effective. That last attack didn't do much, but he was able to defend against the Ling counter attack really, really well. I mean, I don't know what Pew Pew was doing trying that without Banelings, but trying it without Banelings, going for a Hydralisk Den. A macro hatch here. I've started doing macro hatches. I've been talking about doing it more in my latter games than I am. It's nice. It's nice just having a macro hatch. You can spend your money much, much better. And it just works right into your inject rotation. So it's not even a huge deal, really. Just throw it up, man. If you have the resources, do it. And I've started doing it. Getting ye old queens onto there, too. All right, so Hydralisk Den is done. Mecha Hydralisk Den is ready to rock. And it is going to be Battlecruiser. And it is going to be Yamato here. Yamato gun, Yamato cannon. Whichever one you want to call it. And third base is done. So Pew Pew hasn't really taken advantage of the advantage that he had. He didn't take a third base. He's really been too worried about it. I mean, he's got a third base that's been sitting here in his wall for the past little while, but he hasn't lifted it and landed it anywhere. So the Zerg player is actually, I think, okay. I honestly think so. This queen is going to take approximately 8,000 years to kill these rocks. We'll see if she ever gets there. I'm serious. Like, by the end of the game, will she ever get there is my question. I don't know. And finally, the third base lifts up and is going to land. So the Terran player working on additional barracks, definitely going for a bio play with some Battlecruiser support. Because that's how you play TVZ. I guess you can. I don't see why not. It's working out for TTT here. Double pumping Battlecruisers. Now, the problem is Hydra's not all that great against Battlecruisers. They do not trade cost efficiently. They don't do enough damage. And the Battlecruisers chew them up because they don't have a lot of HP. So here comes another Marine Hellbat attack. I mean, if first you succeed, try it again, I suppose is the idea here from TTT. But going for upgrades for the Hydras, making 10 drones at a time really should be able to pull ahead here in the economy sooner rather than later. Yeah, 51 to 48 workers. Pew Pew is droning hard and might not be entirely ready for this attack, but actually, Marine not too bad here. The Battlecruiser adds another element to this, though. Oh, is he going to drop in the main and then attack the front at the same time? TTT, master of the multi-pronged harass thus far. Burrowing Widow Mines on the edge of the creep. Attack on, and that medevac dies instantly because it was already injured from the previous attack here. But Queens fighting on in, and you know what? There are enough Queens here to deal with this Battlecruiser. The Hydras chew up everything that's attacking the front door. And the nice transfuses on the Queens, forces to get on out of there, and Pew Pew holds that like an absolute baller. That was a fantastic display. One Queen does go down a little bit sloppily there, but it's okay. Widow Mine's firing and therefore getting revealed. So they kill a Hydralisk, but they can't do anything else to hurt Pew Pew. 3 bases, 3 bases right now. I mean, TTT, he's fine. He's at 3 bases, as I mentioned. This is a lot of workers here from Pew Pew. 69 with 8 more on the way on 3 bases, soon to be 4 bases. I'm liking it. He is really oversaturated at his 3rd base. I mean, if you're going to go to that many workers, you need your 4th base up a little bit sooner, but that's okay. This is Midrank Madness, and there are some things we can learn here together. Just making more Battlecruisers, man. TT is feeling it. He is feeling the power of the BC. Look at this BC bugging out. What commands are you receiving that make you bug out like that? The Marines are left behind to take down these rocks all by their lonesome. Widow Mines come in and say, hey, we'll help. Oh, wait. No, wait. These are rocks. We're investigating them. Marauders show up. We could help too, but you know what? You got it, Marines. This is your show. No, not too bad, actually. Surprisingly easy to take down this debris. Must not have, like, the 10 armor that other rocks have, eh? I guess there are several of them, so that's your problem. It adds up. It adds up over time. Anyway, Infestation Pit. Mass Hydra is going to be the play of the game here from pewpyoo, which I'm not sure about. I haven't seen Mass Hydra really work versus Battlecruiser. But yeah, 4th base in trouble. Hydras roll in. And remember what I said about not really trading cost effectively here? That's not even a cost-efficient army here. The numbers do not add up. The Hydra count is kind of nice. Look at the Battlecruiser just trying to take down that hatchery. And, man, just jumping out. La 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 la. Abusing the immobility of these Hydralisks. And then you just jump when things get bad. And there it is. See? That's what I'm talking about. The jump. 9 kills and 5 kills on those BCs. Still alive. Still ready to rock. This one has 1. Helping to kill. Helping the Marines take down this debris is also very nice. So upgrades here. +1 air weapons is done. +1 infantry as well as stim. +2 air and +2 attack for infantry is coming on in. I like pewpyoo's scouting situation here. He can see if TTT takes a 4th base really anywhere. With the exception of this gold one. He doesn't have much vision on that, but that's okay. He can, I don't know, he can probably assume at some point it is going to be taken here. Zergling corpse burning as it is actually a mech, it turns out. Ooh, a Nydus. Hey, pewpyoo's going for them Nydus networks. All right. One good current strategy deserves another, I guess. Battlecruiser should be met with Nydus networks. The answer, honestly, for Battlecruisers really should be Corruptors. Neural Parasite for Infestors is also very good. Ooh, Swarm Host. A Swarm Host Nydus play could be pretty fantastic here. Battlecruiser's not very fast. Not very fast to respond to different areas that might be under attack at any time. So like a worm here and like a worm here would be kind of incredible. Look at all of these missile turrets coming up here too. Not exactly turtling up, but kind of turtling up. TTT. So Army Supply 90 to 82. pewpyoo has a lead. He's taking his 6th base. Yep, 6th base, or this is the 6th, whichever one. He's double expanding is the entire point here. 4th base done. Planetary Fortress upgrade complete from TTT. And yeah, all's quiet on the Western Front right now. Not much going on. Sure, that Overlord gets wiped out. He was scouting the gold. Very nicely done. Did get some vision up here, actually. Yeah, he knows. He knows there's a base there. That's great. So Nydus Swarm erupts, and that puts fear into the heart of everybody who ever hears it. 5 Vipers at the time here, too, for pewpyoo. And there it is. Does not know where it is. Just heard the eruption. Another one coming just outside of the sensor tower. Oh, that's a brilliant placement right there. So they're going to fly on in and go after the missile turrets. Oh, look at this scouting, though. He finds this worm. Nicely done. Nicely done. I mean, there's nothing else going on. Supply depot's getting burned down. Can we supply block TTT here? Quite possibly. Right side, again, Battlecruiser trying to do stuff. Are the Hydras enough? Not really focusing down the Battlecruisers one by one here, and that is going to be a problem for them. They need to do that. They need all your Hydras need to do that one Battlecruiser at a time. Ooh, the scan. Look at the scans. Unload something to save this worm. Come on, pewpyoo. He can't do it. I don't think he can. He's going to lose this Nydus worm for literally nothing. All right. Well, good job, SCVs, making it happen there. Another Overlord getting chased by the Battlecruisers. 2 Overlords getting chased. Ugh, and exploding and dropping gray masses all over the bio. Now, the thing is, pewpyoo is effectively maxed out. He is sitting here on 7 bases. He's got a big old Hydra Viper army. These Hydras are completely bugged out. What are you guys doing in here? Vipers sucking energy off these evolution chambers created specifically for this purpose. Mech Vipers kind of look cool doing it. I like it. Sorry, evolution chambers, you are on fire, but you will regenerate. Don't worry about it. Just 2 more Battlecruisers at a time on the way from TT. He is dancing with who brought him. And he's decided it's time to move out. So here we go. We've got +2 air, +3 is about finished right now. I don't know that TT is waiting for it necessarily, but this is really scary stuff here. What you need, I would say, abduct into the Hydras, but the Battlecruisers can jump out in that situation. pewpyoo is just going for everything. He's going for a Spire, Lurker Den, and an Ultralisk Cavern. He's going for all of the units. I'm not sure the Ultralisk Cavern is going to be great versus the Battlecruisers, but against everything else, not bad. It's really mostly Hellbats down here with a bunch of Marines and a couple Marauders. I want to say, how many Marauders even are there? Those are all Hellbats, man. That's a Marauder. Come here. 3 Marauders. 3 Marauders. Another Nydus just outside of the sensor tower. Ready to rock. Just a lot of patience here. Both players are officially maxed out. Both players are doing pretty good stuff. Nukes coming in from TTT. This is kind of feeling like an Innovation versus Serral game, where the Terran player just kind of turtles up, throws up sensor towers everywhere, and then just nukes any attempts of the Zerg to get over here. Creep spread has not been that fantastic at a pewpyoo. He's working on it, but kind of neglecting it recently. And here come here come the Locusts. Don't go after the Planetary Fortress. You're not going to get it. And doesn't get it. Blue Flame Hellbats, man. Pretty darn good against these Locusts. The Locusts have not really done much. They've killed some supply depots, yes. They killed some missile turrets up this way, too. They could go after these Ghost Academies if they wanted, because by golly, they were building a lot of nukes. Another worm. That one dead. Is there another worm I just heard erupt? Yep, up here to the north. So, I mean, you're keeping the Terran player at home. He's allowing you to get up to a whole ton of economy. Only 55 workers from pewpyoo, though. He really needs more than that here at the 16-minute mark of the game. With the number of bases that he has, honestly. His income is not as healthy as it could be. It's lagging behind. It's only 1,500 minerals per minute compared to 2,400 for TTT, which means he is gathering a bank much faster. Getting upgrades much faster here, too. Adaptive Talons on the way for the lurker speed with which they burrow. Which is kind of neat. Don't see that upgrade all the time. And Overseers with speed, cruising around, throwing down Changelings, trying to keep an eye on where things are. Ow. Widow Mines. Ow. One goes down. Alright, so the Hydras clear out these Widow Mines with the help of their speedy, zippy Overseers. Another one takes a shot, unfortunately. But all those are gone, so that's kind of a nice deal. Except for this. Oh, that's a Changeling. Saw the blue thing, and I was like, what is that? Ah, it's a Changeling, obviously. Free SCVs. I mean, free turrets, I guess, if you want them. And yeah, I guess some free turrets is not too bad here from pewpyoo. Decides to head on back home. Another Nydus worm coming up in the bottom right-hand corner. Working on, wow, just chitinous plating, +1 flyer armor. Mag field accelerator stuff, additional bases, +3 infantry armor. SCV's getting killed. I have to imagine that's sacrificial to allow additional supply here from TTT. But yeah, the Locusts are basically coming out wherever they can to not be spotted. And I don't know if these guys are going to make it down here to really do much of anything, but we're kind of in a stalemate here. Yeah, the Locusts assume there'd be a base over here, but there's not, so they're going to explode and fall to the earth. Goodbye, Locusts. Your time was short. You will self-destruct after your time is up. So, I don't know, we're maxed out right now. pewpyoo doesn't really want to engage unless he has to. TTT is throwing up defensive planetary fortresses. This feels so much like playing the Terran campaign in StarCraft 2. It's a great, really fun campaign, but there are some levels where you just have to build defensive planetary fortress missile turret structures just like this to handle like large numbers of basically infested Terrans on some of the levels where you're supposed to deal with Zerg. Alright, here we go. Going forward up this ramp right now. The Overseer is getting smashed in the face by the missile turrets. Planetary Fortress can't really hold against this many Hydras. Blinding Cloud especially making it hard for the Planetary Fortress to fight back, if not impossible. Locust raining down inside the main base. Goodbye missile turrets. Goodbye some supply depots there. Might actually delay an armor upgrade or two. Another Nydus coming up. Battlecruisers coming up to try to deal with it, and pewpyoo just decides to move on out. No big deal. I don't know if you could supply block pewpyoo. He has, or rather TTT, he has a lot of supply depots. How many does he have, Falcon? Well, it's 22 and 3 planetary fortresses, which are extra supply, and 3 orbital commands, which are also a ton of extra supply. All right, so pewpyoo needs to expand here. He needs to expand down here too, probably. He just, at this point in the game, what it comes down to is economy. You need to have more stuff, more money than your opponent does. Ah, he's going after the Ghost Academy. He's going to get it, too. He's going to at least burn it. Wow, he gets it straight up. The Motto Gun on the Nydus, it doesn't even erupt. As, again, they nerfed the armor on that thing. It's a 3 instead of a 5 armor. Additional bases on the way from TTT. I don't know why pewpyoo hasn't taken this base yet. He only has 51 workers, which kind of blows my mind. I mean, he recognizes this base is not even close to fully saturated, right? He messed up his gas saturation, which is fine. Not going to really make him lose this game in the long run at all. This is what I'm talking about. All right, so TTT does have a base here. The locals are going to wreck. Maybe kill some, go after some of these SCVs here, too. They did. Ooh, nice lift. Actually lifting some of them into the command center to keep them alive. But additional SCVs coming in, that is bad. That is a bad place to be, guys. Okay, well, that was brutal. And out of 56 workers for TTT, he has lost a total of 18 SCVs. Some of them were intentional sacrifices, but that I don't feel like it was. Also, oh gosh, these Hydras. These Hydras have 2-2. I don't know why they don't have 3-3. They're working on 3-3. If they had 3-3, this thing would be dead already, but as it stands, it's dead anyway. Tacking on up. Here we go. Hydra's trying to defend against this. The Vipers are abducting. I mean, sure. Abduct them over here. That's fine, but your Hydras are getting wrecked by everything on the ground right now. No Banelings at all for that bio. And the Battlecruisers are fine. You abducted them. It didn't matter. What you need is Neural Parasite. 18 Corruptors in production. 22 Hydras in production. The 7th base does go down here from pewpyoo. Tanks clearing out creep tumors. Army supply is 130 to 136. My golly, the 5th base is going to go down there too. That was harassed earlier on. It finally gets wrecked. 40 drones left here for pewpyoo right now. Not good at all, but continuing to build Corruptors to try to deal with these Battlecruisers. Nydus swarms coming up in the meantime. I don't know where. Oh, these Vipers are a nuke at the front. These Vipers, I feel like, are going to wreck that hatchery. Oh, Yamato gun on the Vipers. Oh, gosh, that was brutal. The Corruptor Hydra Ball is ready to go, though. The Corruptors are wiping out a bunch of these Battlecruisers. They're not jumping out. They're getting whittled down quite nicely. The ground army for pewpyoo is not holding up as well. But, again, I think the big threat here are the BCs. And once they're all gone, then you can make pretty much whatever you want. I guess some Ultralisks would be fine. Oh, why bring Liberators over? OTT. He's like, you know what I didn't add in my composition? Liberators. Oh, crap. 18 Corruptors just spawned. That's really bad for me. Lings cruising on in, trying to see what they can do. They do have decent upgrades. +1 attack and +3 on the armor side of things. Do they have adrenal glands? By golly, they do. So, yeah, at this point, Queen Ling nuke attempt. No. Oh, it's a female ghost. It's a Nova ghost that just went down there. Brutal. Brutal. I like the mech Ultralisks. Yeah, these tanks are in trouble. Goodbye, tanks. Corruptor Ultra. Who knew? 125 to 81 army supply in favor of pewpyoo. He needs to replace his bases. He should have probably done this a while ago. I mean, this wasn't really being camped or anything, but he just didn't bother to take it. Again, this hatch would be nice. He's down to 27 drones. Is he making drones? No. He's only lost 33 of them. He's never really gotten above 60-something into the 70s at all, despite the fact they're at 23 minutes in. He's had 7 bases, or he did have 7 bases for quite some time there. So pewpyoo needs to make this thing happen. Locusts cruising on in, trying to decide what to kill. Engineering base, sure. Some free Marines, sure. Why not? We'll do that. Thank you very much. Holy caustic spray on these supply depots. What? Yamato Cannon and Viking trying to wipe those dudes out. Once again, pewpyoo not supply blocked. Ooh, actually, Hyperflight Rotor and Cloak coming in for Banshees. We could see a Banshee hit squad cruising around with all these Corruptors about. They're not fast enough to keep up. That is for sure. Ultralisk's going to come on in and try to wipe this base out, but Sensor Towers tells TT exactly where this army is coming from. And they don't attack it anyway. I mean, they had a window, but they decide, no, we were inside a sensor tower. Terran player probably knows where we are. And another Nydus worm is going to die here. How many worms have died in this game? 9? That's going to be the 10th. I don't know if this counts as the 10th. It does. It counts as the 10th. So, all right. So pewpyoo replaced one of his bases, but did not replace the other one. Has not expanded for what feels like about 15 minutes here. Has 33 workers and is currently making 0 workers. Come on, man. Drone up. Your army supply is fine. You are keeping him on his back foot here, okay? Ooh, Widow Mines versus Locust. Interesting strategy. As another Ghost Academy bites the dust. Done. dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Dun, 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 dun. I like this skin for the Ultralisks. I really do. They have little like blue tail lights on the back of their heads. Looks good. Roar, 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 they say. Taking the gold base down here after destroying the rocks, which I don't know what the intent there was exactly. Another Nydus swarm down as TT finds the source of all the locusts that have been wrecking his stuff in the main base for quite some time now. This is making 4 Ghost Academies at the same time. TT is. TT's like, you know what? I'm going to make all the Ghost Academies I can make. I'm going to make 1,000,000 nukes. What are you going to do about it? I still have one that I haven't tossed on you yet for some reason. Yeah, TTT, you get a nice little rampage. You wiped out a couple hatcheries, but pewpyoo has recovered nicely. By that, I mean he has 37 workers. He's making 5 at a time. Thank goodness for that. TT is all right, too. At 56 workers, maxed out, a huge 144 army supply with a decent bank there, too. Not a lot of gas, which I'm worried about. If you want to remax on minerals-only stuff, it's not going to work out too well for you. Not with Ultras, anyway. Not with Ultras on the field. And Broodlords, too, actually. Surprise Broodlords. So, all right. Oh, that's Viking count, though. I would almost... I don't know that Broodlords are what you want here, man. That Viking count is kind of insane. But yeah, 4 nukes at a time in production. They're going to finish. Another Nydus Worm comes to the top left-hand corner. And there it is. There's the eruption. Another one in the bottom right here. That one's not visible, right? Yeah, Widowmine vision is not that much. Attempted drop up here in the main, which... No. All your medevacs are gone, and these ultras mean everybody who's left in here is going to die. Yeah, that was maybe not the greatest decision at all. TTT is down to 121 army supply after being at 144. So serious damage there. 24,000 resources worth of losses there for TTT, and 25,000 from pewpyoo. Tech is at 15,400 versus 7,800 for pewpyoo. That's just upgrades. That's a lot of upgrades right here, and static defense and whatnot. So those are missile turrets. Those are supplied planetary fortresses. So far, so good. Defensive Nydus being tossed up inside his own base here. Battlecruisers cruising on over this way. Jumped on by the Corruptors, and you got to get out. That's just a jump. Everybody jumps. I mean, if you were a little bit quicker, a little bit better with the micro, you just jump the one that's hurt. Let the other 2 get as much damage in as they can, and then jump them when it's necessary. These Swarm Hosts, man, doing some work. 4 or 5 kills each in there. They've been around for a while. And as long as there's a Nydus network somewhere, they're not going to die. I really don't think they've been caught out at all so far. And refinery on fire. It's going to burn down unless it gets repaired here. I don't know that TTT's paying enough attention to repair it. And he's repairing it. Never mind. We're good, TTT. I'm sorry for maligning you. Hey, 20 banelings in production with centrifugal hooks on the way. Pewpyoo has 42 workers, guys. 42. Doesn't seem like enough. All right. So, I mean, at this point, Corruptor, Ultra, Broodlord, Baneling with centrifugal hooks seems pretty good against TTT's army composition here. The Broodlords are probably going to die quickly to the Vikings, but the Banelings and the Ultras should wipe out the Marines quite effectively, as well as the Hellbats. And then you just have to deal with the 3 Battlecruisers, and there are enough Corruptors to handle them. So I think pewpyoo has the right composition to make this thing happen. Creeps spread, try and get over here and shut down TTT's attempts to expand over this way. Pewpyoo does not believe this is his base, I think. I don't know why, but he seems to believe that. Hasn't really saturated his new 8th base at all. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, both teams have just been really passive here for the past couple of minutes. Not much has been going on. Pew pew, where the heck are your drones? They're here, and they're here, and they're here. But man, 46 workers just does not seem like enough. All right, TTT is going for it. He's feeling it, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Banelings catching a lot of that bio on the ground. Just trying to run away from the Banelings as much as possible into some Widow Mines possibly. But no, shutting it down quite nicely there. Pew Pew, I think, got the better end of that engagement. TT was forced to retreat. And tanks are clearing out creep tumors up here. So Thor's actually being made into production. Thor's pretty good against the Broodlords. Are the Broodlords alive? They are. There aren't a lot of them. There's only 3 or 4 or so. And yeah, at this point of the game, it's just an economic battle is what it is. How cost efficient are your attacks? Well, that Broodlord is gone. And so is that one. And so are these ones, probably. So Pew Pew needs to really babysit his Broodlords a little bit better. Bye. Bye, Broodlords. It was nice knowing you. TT feels confident after that engagement to march on up onto the creep here. 16 lings in production. 25 banelings on the way. In different places across the map. They were all rallied somewhere and he turned them into banelings all at different points, which is hilarious. Nuke attempt at Pew Pew's 8th base, which would be a little more damaging, except there's like 1 drone working here, so no. It's really not. Corruptors fighting against the Vikings. Banelings getting some decent hits off, and our first nuke of the game actually is going to land. Ah, so beautiful. Such beauty. That is taking down the larva. Exploding. Widow Mines firing on in. Doesn't really matter. Ground units getting crushed right now. TTT might be backed into a bit of a corner here. I don't know about this. The Ultralisks start chawing through everything. Banelings getting some hits there too. The Corruptors are wiping out everything in the sky. I think the Battlecruisers jumped home. Is there enough here with these Ultras to wipe out what remains? Yes, by golly. Viking Marine is not enough to handle fully upgraded Ultralisks. They are fully upgraded Ultralisks here. I cannot believe these Widow Mines are still alive. He gets another shot off. Might get another shot off here. Army supply 148 to 75 supply. I think this base should just be dead right now, honestly. Bring the Ultras over and take it down. Why are you going this way? There's a planetary fortress here. There's 2 planetary fortresses here. Don't throw your units away. All right, well, no. Okay, well, 1 went down. The range on that planetary fortress, golly. Oh, the Caustic Spray Brigade. Look at that. If you want to lift off, we'll just hit you with our regular old attacks as well. So that planetary fortress dies. The ground army's in trouble here. I mean, TTT is in a world of hurt. Although, he is setting up a very nice anti-Ultralisk army at the top of that ramp. I think it's time to go. You snipe that base, great. You really should kill this base. Wait, you're going in. No! No, Ultralisks, don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't throw away your lives. My gosh, if Pew Pew loses this thing, I think it's going to come down to that. Maybe overextending a little bit too much in weird situations. Sensor tower down. Whoa, not trading an Ultra for it. That's good news. Do you have anabolic synthesis? I just realized. Yes, he does have anabolic synthesis. Oh, a Widow Mine kills that Ultra. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. Take this base down. Oh, Pew Pew actually expanding on this right side. Nope. Get spotted and murdered. You need more Banelings, dude. You need more Banelings with this army, Pew Pew. That's a lot of bio on the ground here. Couple Thors in the mix as well. And, yes, creeping up onto the creep here. TTT feeling pretty confident about this. Where the Banelings really helped a lot in that last engagement, man. Oh, why are you walking back and forth across these Marauders? They're killing you. Ah, another Ultra goes down. Finally, there's a Ling attack on this left side base for TTT. So he loses everything there because he didn't make it a planetary fortress because I don't know why. But yeah, everything's dead there. So that's a nice pickup from pewpyoo. But TTT just kind of marching on in, setting up with tanks. He's got a couple Thors. It's not a huge army, but it's a pretty impressive army. 68 cracklings in production. Ultras wander in and wander out, getting shot at the entire time. You can't do that with Ultras. You have to commit. All right, so here we go. Ultras are tanking for the Hydralisks, allowing the Hydras to do more damage than they otherwise would, but the Ultras are all gone now. Nothing is buffering for them. The tanks and the Marauders are wrecking them to pieces right now. A bunch of Banelings in production. 14 Banelings in production. I felt like that's what we've needed for a while now. 13 kills on that tank. That's dead impressive. Thor's got 3. His Thor buddy is dead, I think. Ling's trying to make some trades here. Where are those Banelings at? Here they are. There are the Banelings, but TTT is marching up. Not re-expanding to his dead base, unfortunately. Oh, these Lings are going to find this train. These Lings are going to find this. I cannot believe that pewpyoo has the presence of mind to do this. Honestly, by golly, this is a lot of dead SCVs. TTT is going to be down to not many SCVs at the end of this thing. Here we go. Zerg swarming on in with the Banelings and the Hydras, and the Banelings are actually getting decent hits here. The Cracklings finishing everything else off, and that is it for the Terran army. It's out. TTT is down to 15 workers and 81 gas. It's not good for him. pewpyoo is sitting on 38 workers. He's still mining from A base. Really should expand down here or expand down here while he has the aggression. The Corruptors are not doing as much as they otherwise would want to. A bunch of Marines do come in and handle the Zerglings. There are not that many of them, as it turns out. They are fully upgraded Marines, too. So this Zergling has got 9 kills. He's dead now, but he had 9 kills. All right, so at this point, there's definitely pewpyoo's game to lose right now, isn't it? He's re-expanding to the right side. He's got a decent army. He should really make some Banelings. He's got about 1,000 minerals here. How much larva does he have? 20 larva. Which means his injects are not as good as they otherwise could be. I don't know how many queens he has, to be honest, though. It turns out he has a total of 6, which maybe it'd help if he had some more queens. I don't know. How many have been killed in this game? 10 queens have gone down. That's a lot. All right, so TTT has a largely Marine army here. It's 2 Ultralisks and a bunch of Corruptors versus this many 3-3 Marines. So the Ultras don't quite like their odds here. They're going to go ahead and sack this top left-hand base, which is, again, really the only income that exists for pewpyoo, with the exception of this hatchery that is some distance from being completed. There we go. 12 Banelings in production on creep. TTT, I think, is evacuating right now. He knows he can't overextend right now. This is pretty much all that he has. 34 army supply is exactly 32 Marines, a Widow Mine, and 4 nukes. It's not good. He's replanted the left side base, which is really nice. How many mules can he possibly call down there? And he's retaken the south side base here, too. So TTT, he's doing all right. Just tossed down a ton of mules in the bottom right-hand corner base. But if this thing gets oh, the army's heading this way. I don't think pewpyoo technically knows that there. TTT says, what a game. You are correct. This has been one heck of a mid-rank madness. All right, so the mules all go down. Oh, Banelings exploding on mules. That's not what you want. Another orbital command goes down there, too. All right, so that was a decent hit there. Beautiful hit there. He needs to wipe out this base, though, which he knows exists now because he scouted it with a Zergling. Zergling trying to take down an SCV before he dies. Not going to happen. Friend left side base, once again, is not scouted here by pewpyoo. So he's got the one base he's mining from. About 29 drones in the game right now. Not ideal. He's not really building anything in the production tab. 28 gas is all he has. He has gone through a ton of gas. He's still got 1,000 in this extractor. This base is kind of a huge deal for TTT. Oh, Ling's got into the 6 o'clock position and forcing the SCVs on out of there. Brutal, brutal stuff. Lings, just get out. Just go. You can come back in later. Keep TTT at home. Make him worry about the Zerglings that are going to come in here later on. More Zerglings, more Cracklings joining the party. Again, Banelings would be huge. It's 108 to 55 army supply, which is just not great here for TTT. I think he's done. I don't want to call it early. I don't want to cast or curse it, but It just feels like pewpyoo is in a much better position. Sure, a lot of his supply is corruptors, which aren't that great against dealing with army, but... he found... No! It's an SCV massacre on the left side. Oh, man. 2 SCVs remaining. Oh, the Ling's cruising on it. That SCV flees, recognizing he is one of 2 remaining SCVs in the entire game. We'll make it 3. Sure, why don't we make it 3? That sounds great. Pewpyoo. Kind of everywhere with these Zerglings, and I am loving it. Hey, a Banshee! A Banshee's here trying to kill some queens, and maybe some Zerglings too, I guess. But there's the Overseer ball, and that means... Oh, and all the and all the corruptors and whatnot. All right, well. So 3 SCVs remaining. Nydus coming up here. Engineering Bay is getting rocked. I mean, TTT is just... He's counting down the moments before he's toast. TTT decided to retake, or rather, pewpyoo decided to retake this top left base. Not enough resources and gas here to make it worth it. That's totally fine. Also, scouting this would be humongously important, but TTT actually pulling it in. He is making his last stand here, you guys. He doesn't have... Oh, he has a medevac, but she is horribly overworked, keeping all of these dudes healed up after they stimmed that one time. Locust doing some work here. Are you serious? There are still swarm hosts around. Swarm hosts, come out of your Nydus worm so I can see how many kills you have. You've been here the entire game. It's been amazing. TTT finds another Nydus worm to kill. Makes it a total of 15 Nydus worms that have gone down in this game. TTT has been on a Nydus worm clearing duty for quite some time. Banelings are ready. Yeah, Baneling, Ultralisk, Corruptor Ling seems like a pretty good composition versus what TTT is rolling with. I mean, it helps that pewpyoo is up 130 to 54 total supply. Like, my brain naturally wanted to say 154, but that was not accurate at all. TTT says, I'm a nuke, one of your only sources of income. How do you like them apples? Oh, he pulled it. Nice job, pewpyoo. These poor ghosts, all they want to do is get kills. I don't think larva counts. Maybe larva counts. That nuke got aborted pretty darn easily there, didn't it? Yes, it did. Production tab empty for both players. Pewpyoo is, I don't know, 171 supply. TTT is at 63. This game is, it's over. I'm going to classify it officially as over. And here we go. Man, Ultras, Banelings, Lings. The splits are good, but the Cracklings are just too many. And look at that. Pewpyoo lets him go. Pewpyoo's like, you know what? It's fine. Just, don't worry about it. Ooh, I heard that Nydus worm. Where is it? There it is. Come on out, Swarm hosts. I want to see how many kills you have. Orbital command down. 6 SCVs remaining. He's been making them, which is nice. Widowmine's burrowing on in here. TTT is... Yeah, I mean, pewpyoo, I think he's been in the situation before where he was ahead and just kind of carelessly moved into a Terran ball and lost everything. So I think he's playing this pretty smart. He's playing it cautiously. Happily mining the gas in that top left-hand base. Widow mines are there. TTT says, good game. Good game, says pewpyoo. Look at pewpyoo going home. And that's it. Ah, anticlimactic ending a little bit there. All right, I gotta, bear with me real quick. I gotta go back and see how many kills those swarm hosts had. They did not spend much time out of their Nydus networks, did they? Their Nydus worms. Not really. Okay, here's a moment. Here's a moment. Did that bring me way back? Sometimes it does that. If you do back a bunch of times, Shift B takes you 20 seconds back in the replay. Yeah, they're all in here, all right. Speed it up. Where's your Nydus worm? Comes over here eventually. There it is. All right. How many kills do you guys have? You're all out. Pause it up. 8 kills, 2 kills, 4 kills, 4 kills, 7 kills, 5 kills, 3 kills, and 5 kills. All right, man. They did not do a ton. Okay, but they did a great job just keeping TTT at home for a lot of the game. Just worried about where the next Nydus swarm is going to erupt, where the next swarm of locusts were going to show up and try to kill his stuff. And yeah, just kind of put fear of Zerg into the Terran player, which is something you sort of have to do if you're going to win these matches. So overall, really fantastic ZVT. I mean, a lot of different units in use there. Battlecruisers, Ultralisks, Broodlords, Hellbats, Liberators, Banshees, a Swarm Host. I mean, it's a huge variety of units here, which I really enjoyed. TTT, 59,200 resources lost to 53,200 for pewpyoo. Upgrades pretty fantastic across the board. And, I mean, look at this. How many SCVs died? 81? And only 49 drones died, which pewpyoo didn't really get up to 70 at any point in this game. I don't know how he won it, but made it happen just with smart compositions, I want to say. He made the Corruptors to deal with the Battlecruisers, some Broodlords to deal with the ground units, a lot of Banelings too. A lot of Banelings were created, and only 5 of them died prematurely. 9 Battlecruisers went down, 124 Marines, 11 supply depots, never supply blocked pewpyoo, 4 Thors, and 15 Ghosts. That's a lot more Ghosts than I expected there would be. So GG to both of these players, but extra congratulations to pewpyoo for getting the win in a 44-minute ZVT endurance match here on Automaton. Overall, average APM was 202 for pewpyoo and 158 for TTT, so definitely diamond level for these players. Excellent display. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your mid-rank madness. Whew, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice, our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense of soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Inshallah, adieu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Kalarulas. Paramulas. Aklaranus. Naslaran. Kinalatu. Kasa